Hello and welcome all you Open Spaces sports fans. Once again, Clint Cox here with Northern Valley Football here on Open Spaces Sports. My longtime partner to my right-hand side, the cameraman, the color man, his name is Zane Baird. We get to be in Bird City, Kansas here tonight on 82-degree September day. It is nothing but wonderful when it comes to high school football in these conditions.
Perfect over here, Clint. And, you know, it's worth making the trip out west when these two teams come together. Every single time we're expecting of a good matchup. You know, there's been a couple years ago, you know, Cheylin has kind of had Northern Valley's number, and Northern Valley trying to answer the bell back. But I expect a really good game out here in this one. Both of these teams kind of looking to get on track for the season. Northern Valley coming to this one at a record of 1-2, where Cheylin's looking for that first game to fall into the win column on the season, fall into 0-3. But, you know, if you just look at the record, that doesn't tell the whole story about how these seasons have gone, where the last game that we got to cover for Northern Valley, they played a number 3 in the state Tescott team that meant business. That they came into Northern Valley there, and Northern Valley put up a pretty good fight, but their defense was quite overwhelming to finish that one off on an unfortunate homecoming night for the Huskies, where if you turn to this Cheylin side, talking to all the folks over here, it has been tough sledding so far to start the season under first year for the man at the helm, Sam Reed. He was an assistant last year, took over the head Fred job this season, but he did not get any favors from that schedule where they had to travel out west to Colorado, actually to Idalia, but they're a very good team, one of the better teams out there on that front range, and then going against a Ingalls Bulldogs team that, you know, the past couple of seasons has been one of the top names in six-man. So both these teams, records don't really indicate kind of what they have in both of those schedules. I expect this game to really probably paint a lot better of a picture on what these teams are going to look like moving forward for the entire season, Clint.
These two teams are almost rivals when it comes to, I don't care what it is, whether it's basketball or whether it's football. These two teams go at it, and usually some superior athletic ability out there on the field for everybody to watch and pay attention to. But I agree with you, Aim. These two teams come in the same spot. I'm guessing extremely hungry, extremely just wanting to get off to a good start. Both these guys have struggled in the first half and just letting games kind of get away, out of touch for them. They want to be the first person to draw blood here, to get into the end zone and start some good positive momentum.
And we saw the Huskies do that last week. Their opening drive was their best drive of that game. They came out, really lit a fire, set a tone, but unfortunately when they lost that momentum, weren't really able to quite get it back. But, you know, they're going to try to come out here, put their foot on the gas, and not give that momentum away. Both of these teams really looking for a strong start. It was Coach Reed down there said, and we'll probably say it a lot tonight, we said, what's one thing that you've been hammering home? What's kind of been the bulletin board thing that you've been saying this week? And what was it, Clint?
He said, we need this one.
We need this. As simple as that. He's like, this is the momentum builder that we need on the season. He understands that they're not where they want to be in the win-loss column, but, you know, it's fair to say a league rival comes to town, a big game. Both of these crowds know what this game means, and both of these teams know what this game means, and both of them are going to want to go out there and put their best foot forward.
And they're going to come about it maybe slightly differently. I'm going to guess that the Cheylin Cougars are going to maybe spread it out a little more. They're going to throw the ball with Landon and Landon. That's right. They've got a dual two quarterbacks there. Hendricks and Schoenberger are going to throw the ball a little bit. And I'm going to anticipate a little bit of grind and pound that football from Northern Valley's head coach, Marvin Giphart, where they're going to just try and hand off to their big seniors, the stud athletes over there, Owen Hammond and Gavin Thalheim, and just see if they can kind of milk clock and just kind of punish the defense from the Cougars.
Yeah, and, you know, believe it or not, we love to talk, don't we, Clint? So we were actually talking before this game even started about Gavin kind of being that tone setter on the Northern Valley side, Gavin Thalheim, really looking for kind of that statement game to start off his senior year. You know, he's definitely made an impact both offensively and defensively, because it's impossible for him not to. But really a game where he kind of is just like, wow, that is the Gavin Thalheim that everyone should be aware of and have circled on their tape. And I think that, hey, he knows this is his last year in the green and white, and he wants to have a game like that, especially against a rival like the Cheylin Cougars.
He's a well-decorated athlete when it comes to six-man football. The last 3 seasons been all league, and the last 2 seasons been all state recognized. It could be a game where he absolutely steps up, takes it over, and says, boys, get on my back. I'm the senior. We're not losing anymore, and it's time to go. Speaking of time to go, we need to head on over to our sponsors. We'll be back after a bit of their run with your starting lineup, Star Spangled Banner, and maybe a little bit more on key players that we want to pay attention to tonight. But we want to say thank you for turning into Open Spaces Sports, and we'll be right back.
Administrators on duty tonight.
Welcome back to Bird City, where we're getting ready for six-man football action here on Open Spaces Sports as the captains are getting ready to go on out to the center circle. Aim, I wouldn't mind asking you a little bit about what you anticipate here on this game. Let's just go with something like players to watch on either side. Let's start with the Cheylin Cougars.
Sure. You're looking at that Cheylin side of things. Pablo Ruiz is going to be kind of the motor that I think they're going to run through here. He's a sophomore, weighing in at 160 pounds, wearing number 3, and I think that he has the ability to really get outside. That last game that we watched against Northern Valley, they were really working to contain, and where most of the damage was done was when they were able to bounce outside, get up the sideline, and make damage happen. And I think Ruiz could be able to do that here tonight. Northern Valley's going to have him dialed in all the time. If the ball's in his hand, everyone's got to get to him.
All right, let's flip the corner over here, and let's go from the Northern Valley Husky sideline. Who do you think is the player to watch?
We already talked about it a little bit in our pregame, but I really do think that if Gavin Thalheim could kind of have that just absolute breakout game where you talked about just putting the team on his back, almost the Derrick Henry-esque type performance, I think that he's able to do that. He's capable of doing such a thing, and he's been playing a lot of games against a lot of these Cheylin teams. Cheylin has been very good in the six-man football realm, and it means a little bit more to those seniors over there, Owen and Gavin, and I think you're going to see that coming out probably both offensively and defensively here on this side of things.
Yeah, Cougars over the last many years have recorded a couple state titles in the six-man realm, and in fact, they were one of the pioneers in the six-man game in the state of Kansas and really took advantage of that with their athletes over the years. As the captains come in there, looks like Maverick Rogers, Aiden Keith, and the senior Gavin Thalheim there for Northern Valley, and the captains for the Cheylin Cougars looks like Daniel Ramirez, the junior, Pablo Ruiz, as well as Landon Hendricks, and number 30 is Andrew Mitchell. Those are the captains for Coach Sam Reed. Couldn't ask for a better night of football. I know that you have many options there, what you can do on your Friday night, but when it comes to Western Kansas, there's nothing better than just coming on out to a high school football game. I know you can kind of see the Northern Valley crowd along the side over there in the stands, but there's quite a few people lining the sidelines as well. With good traveling fan base, that Husky crowd over there. See if they can get out and get their boys fired up on a road trip here to see if they can knock off a good team here at Cheylin Cougars.
Absolutely, and it's going to take a little from everybody here when you go against these two teams. We talk about kind of those players to watch, our key people to impact a game, but there's a lot more numbers that are going to have to get involved. I think that it starts with those two, with Ruiz, with Thalheim, but if you don't get involvement from the rest of your 6 guys, you're going to be looking at maybe trying to dig yourself out of a hole, because both of these teams looking to start fast, looking to start to get a little bit of momentum swinging their way, and then momentum is a massive thing in football games, Clint.
Well, one of the things that both these two teams are going to want to clean up, and both coaches talked about it, last week they both got victimized by turning the football over, and most of it was via the interception. I know Northern Valley got 3 times there. They got the ball taken from them and quickly scored the other night, and it sounds like the same thing happened to Cheylin. So ball security, always important in football, and it's going to be important here tonight.
Absolutely.
As we get ready to start this one off, looks like Ruiz is going to do the kicking job and the responsibilities for the Cheylin Cougars. Of course, always in this 6-man game, you got to pay attention to the up man, and there's a lot of onside kicks. So it's one of the fancy plays that always happens in the 6-man game, Aim. So here we go. We are ready for football. 82 degrees. The field is green. The little nubber is right to Gavin Thalheim, and it takes 4 Cougars to knock him down. He'll return that ball 5 yards. Northern Valley starts in positive territory at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, you can't ask for a much better field positioning off of your first time marching out there on offense. So we'll see. Northern Valley started very hot coming out of the gates in the last game here. So we'll see what kind of game script Coach Gebhard drew up for the week, so that way they can get on the board and find themselves with an early lead in this one.
Cheylin looks like they're going to go to a 4-man front here against the Huskies, who are going to go with Hansen is going to be the snapper here right now, and Tait Thalheim under center. He'll turn and give right up the middle to Gavin Thalheim. We thought a little ground and pound. He's going to be cut down after a gain of 2.
Cheylin defense did a really nice job reading where that ball was going to go and just did a good job busting off of their blocks, just smothering the A-gaps. Nowhere for Gavin to go with that football.
The big men for the Cougars and their Wigington and Medina playing the defensive tackles there stopped the Northern Valley senior running back quickly. They'll line up in the same formation. Hammond in a little bit of a slot. They'll hand off to him as he's going to try and make his way around the right corner. Now he's going to switch field positions, going to try and stiff arm Landon, and Landon will drive him out of bounds after a gain of 5 yards. Northern Valley's going to have 3rd and 7 here.
It was nice recovery there from Landon Schoenberger, the one that made that tackle out of bounds, because when Owen turned that back up field, there was no one there immediately. And we talk about his athleticism a lot, how he can jump like a deer, but he's also very fast and quick when he gets around that edge. So Landon doing a nice job sealing that off, keeping the gain for the Huskies to a minimum.
Big man Malachi Hitt checks into the game. He's going to line up on the offside of Hansen at center. Twins to my way with Zane Brown and Owen Hammond. And now a timeout by head coach Marvin Gippart will give us our first break of the afternoon. You're watching Open Spaces Sports. We'll see you in 120 seconds.
All-American Glass is there to serve their customers wherever they are. At All-American Glass, they feature NGA-certified master technicians to handle your insurance claims or emergency repairs. All-American Glass will repair first and replace when necessary. Call All-American Glass in Long Island, Kansas at 785-854-7625 or toll free at 866-312-2257.
All Creatures Vet Clinic is located in Almena, Kansas, and they serve the fine folks of Phillips County and Norton County, and in and around the Almena and Northern Valley area, and of course Long Island as well, and even into southern Nebraska. All Creatures Vet Clinic is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m., and you can reach them by calling 785-669-2227. Small animal care, large animal care, it's all available at All Creatures Vet Clinic, supporting the Northern Valley Huskies athletically and academically.
Northern Valley will come out in a different formation now after the timeout. They're going to put Thalheim under center and Thalheim below him. Right up the middle, they'll give to Gavin, and he's going to be close to a first down, but it looks like he might be just a touch short.
Yeah, I would say this is 4-down territory. You're started in positive field position here. You're looking at a 4th and short. I kind of expect them to go right back to the well.
Well, with the success of that one, they might. But you can also see the leg of Gavin Thalheim might come into a factor here tonight. He could make a field goal from here, and a field goal in the 6-man game is worth 4 points.
That's true. Not very many teams can say they've got somebody who can kick one through the uprights. But you're right. He does have the kind of leg that he can do that. They do line up here in ISO formation one more time, and they do go right back to their big senior. He made an effort to see if he got enough.
Well, it's going to be close. The line judges are on top of it. One of them's got a foot on the line. One of them's got a foot behind the line. We'll see where they're going to mark it, and they're probably going to need to come and stretch the chains.
It's going to be close as it's right there, right on the 20.
And they're going to officially time out. We are going to stretch the chains. What a first sequence of downs here to start this game off. A matter of football's a game of inches, isn't it, Aim?
It really is. Both teams kind of knew right where that was going. Cheylin did a good job breaking down, going to that A-gap one more time, crashing in. And it was just kind of will on will right there. And they did a good job.
And they're still
running into him.
They're still looking at it.
And it's going to be
just short.
What a stop for the Cheylin defense there on 4th and 1. Great opportunity for the Huskies there to cash in, but the Cheylin defense holds strong, bending and not breaking. And we're still looking for our first score of this game.
With 8:26 to go, Cheylin will take over at their own 20.5-yard line. Wigginton's going to snap this ball back. Looks like it is right to Mitchell. Will flip it back to Landon Schoenberger. Looking to dance left, looking to dance right. That ball's up in the air. Nice pass and catch to Ruiz right here on the sideline. Gain of 7.
Yeah, really nice touch on that pass right into the hands of Ruiz. Very different looking offense, like we said, coming into this year's Northern Valley. Kind of went to that one back look, just trying to set the tone through the run game there. Cheylin running more of what we've seen from them the last few years. It's a different head coach, but the same concept. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Where you spread them out and use your athletes, get them in one-on-one opportunities.
Here's Hendricks loading up, going to fire it deep, and nobody's home.
That was Schoenberger again.
He was looking for Hendricks on the pass. He was looking for Mitchell on that pass, and it was not there. Northern Valley has not played the best pass defense so far this season. They're going to need to be sharp here tonight. And the new starter in that backfield, as they are going to start the freshman, Bryson Wilder down here in the corner, wears in number 1. And a fresh face here on the Northern Valley defense. This one's going to go on the outside for Mitchell. He's going to break 1 tackle. He's going to get around 2. Fumble! The ball's going to go out of bounds, but they cannot fumble it forward. It's got to go back to where the fumble was. It's going to cost them the first down. So it will be 4th down.
Just be 1 yard to go.
That's a new rule in high school football. If you fumble it forward, they must bring it all the way back to where that fumble begins. I did not see the beanbag go down. It's going to be 4th and short. We just saw this on the other side. Will Northern Valley's defense stiffen up right here?
Yeah, a lot different look here, though, as they do continue to spread them out. Going to see if they can get a running lane here, probably to sneak one forward for another opportunity. And the ball comes out yet again, but a good bounce goes into the hands of Mitchell, and he picks up a big gain after another cough of that football.
Let's see it. He actually fumbles it. As he tried to get there, he was well short, and he fumbled the ball up on Johnny on the spot as Mitchell picks it up, grabs a first down, and they are on the march.
Ball bouncing in the way of Cheylin there. We'll see if they can cash in on a little bit of luck on that one. Mitchell with a good heads-up play, finding that football and keeping the drive alive for the Cougars.
Tight formation now. They'll go inside now, fake one play, fake the other. Here comes Ruiz, runs over Wilder, but Wilder brings him down.
Yeah, he had the freshman in his sights there, trying to set the tone, trying to just go over him, but Wilder did a nice job knowing, hey, I'm on an island right here. I've got to break down and make this tackle, and he does just that.
Bryson sticking his nose in there, maybe getting it popped a little bit, but gets the job done. Gain of 6 yards on first down. We'll bring up manageable here on 2nd. They'll snap it back here to Schoenberger now. Straight ahead, the ball's on the ground, and now Thalheim was in there quickly. Schoenberger lucky to get it back.
Cougars get it back there, but that's the 3rd time that this football has hit the turf on this drive. They're going to have to figure out how to clean that up, or else, we talked about both of these teams wanting to clean it up offensively, not get hurt by the turnover game. But Cheylin really fortunate right now that they still have this football.
3 fumbles in 6 plays is not a key to victory here. Wigginton snap back, and it's Schoenberger looking to find some time and find an open receiver. Now he's going to take off on the run. Around the right side he goes. He gets around 1, gets around 2. Fumbled again, and no call. Now a touchdown. He put the ball on the dirt again, but he recovered his own from what I could tell. As Schoenberger breaks contain and took off.
I missed it.
Well,
but a nice job there, finding that one-on-one opportunity. Schoenberger just using his speed to turn the burners on and get away from Gavin Thalheim. Then had to make a little move there at the 5-yard line to get over that end zone.
Pablo is going to kick after the point, and it's going to be up, and a nice kick by Pablo. And that's good. We've got 2 good kickers here tonight. Well, the hometown Cheylin Cougars draw blood first. Welcome back to Open Spaces Sports. Clint Cox and Aim Baird here for your broadcast in Bird City, Kansas. Cheylin scores on kind of a broken play. and then was quick to make the PAT. Ruiz going to set it on a tee this time, looking to maybe kick it deep. First one was short. Let's see what he does with this one. Kind of a pooch here. It's going to be fielded by Owen Hammond. After he tipped it once, now it's going to be, no, that's still playing in. He's going to have to make some hay around, and terrible field position as Ruiz ran him down. The Huskies will take over at the 2.5-yard line.
Yeah, I was initially going to say I think he got fortunate that his foot wasn't on the line when he picked that up, but looking at it, maybe it would have been better than where they find themselves. Northern Valley pinned against their back of their end zone right now. They're going to have to see if they can get some chunk yardage to get a little bit more comfortable field position here.
78 yards to go here for Northern Valley if they're going to even this score up. Tait Thalheim under center will give on the outside to Hammond. Kind of taking his time as he works his way around the outside. Wigginton's there to drive him out of bounds, and it'll be a gain of 3 yards for Hammond. As Northern Valley in that tight formation is trying to just control the line of scrimmage here in the beginning of this one.
4-yard gain on the play, second down and 11.
Wigginton and Dawson.
Giebler. There it is.
The 230-pound senior nose tackle there, number 44.
Bring Malachi Hitt in to answer him, wearing number 70 for the Huskies. He'll play center now. Snap back. They give the ball.
That's Hansen on the give, and he's going to be wrapped up
just
after
a short gain.
2 or 3. The defense by the Cougars has been great, not giving up anything big. Now Daniel Ramirez, the 225-pound junior, will come in to play defensive line. They're kind of rotating those guys through, trying to keep them fresh here in this first quarter. We anticipate a 4-quarter game here, and that is something that we've seen in the past. You got to have gas at the end, so I like to see the coaches, Coach Reed here, substituting his D lineman.
Northern Valley going to a more of a spread out look here. High snap. They do get it, though, and they just try to stay alive. And I don't know if that got back to the line of scrimmage. I think the call here is going to be intentional grounding.
If it is, it's spotted the foul. And the referees are going to talk about it here a little bit. I actually thought Tait was in the end zone.
It was an obvious pass play.
Well, it's an illegal forward pass. That's not an intentional grounding, which is good for Northern Valley because I don't think that that's a loss of down if they accept the penalty.
They're counting it as a loss of down. So,
well, that's what Coach Gippard is asking on the sidelines. In punt formation is Northern Valley with Thalheim in the backfield.
Got to make sure you hold those blocks here.
Fourth and forever is Thalheim's not going to get a very good punt away. It's going to be out of bounds, and it might be a 6-yard punt.
Yeah, did everything he could to just get that one off. There was nowhere.
Oh, no. We've got a running into the kicker flag in the backfield. The preliminary signal has been out. So is it a running it into or is it a roughing? Because a roughing the kicker is an automatic first down.
And 15 yards. We're running into it, just be 5.
So they are going to march off 5. So I'm assuming that's the signal.
Running into the kicker was the call.
So now Northern Valley gets another opportunity. Thank goodness Gavin didn't want it in the newspaper that he had a 6-yard punt. This one is blocked by Wigginton. Northern Valley can pick it up if it's behind the line of scrimmage, but they will fall on it, killing it. And the Cougars will take over at their own 9-yard line. Wigginton got in there quickly on that one. Will hit the replay button and got his hands on it, I believe.
Yeah, just pinned his ears back. Knew there wasn't a lot of chance. Got his hand up there and just got a piece of that one. Northern Valley defense going to have a tall task in front of them. Now Cheylin finds themselves with 1st and 10, knocking on the door of the end zone yet again.
They're going to snap back. Hendricks now in the quarterback spot. Now they're going to fake to him. He's going to left it out in the flat. Thalheim tried to break on that ball. It was out there for Andrew Wright, but Andrew couldn't pull it in.
It was a great pass. We got it where only his receiver could reel that one in and just off the front of his fingertips, because the Northern Valley defense was actually pretty sound right there, following making that a really tight window to hit. I thought Tait, his way he broke on that football, I thought he was going to pick six that sucker. They're going to spread him out. Medina closest to us, right farthest away. Snap to Mitchell, now back to Hendricks. He's going to survey, and now he's going to loft it to the corner, up and to Wigington for the touchdown! Same exact play they just did this time. Instead of falling just incomplete, they cash in for another touchdown. Wigington comes out of the center spot and just works his way across the formation and just beats Zane Brown to the spot, and a beautiful ball by Hendricks. They'll put 7 more on the board. Yeah, that's the tough thing about six-man football. Everyone is eligible, so there's nobody that gets a play off out there in coverage. Blocked this point on the attempt. I think it was both Hammond and Thalheim with it. And that'll lead us to break, but before 14 points have been scored by the Cheylin Cougars, and Northern Valley has failed to answer.
CHS of Northwest Kansas is located in multiple communities. And at CHS, the first priority is to help you, the farmer owners, and customers grow. And that means providing quality products. The latest in innovation, first-class customer service is a priority. As agriculture and the communities evolve, they're committed to staying at the forefront of the industry. Locally, they employ knowledgeable and professional staff to assist you with your agricultural home and business needs. All available at CHS, creating connections to empower agriculture.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Angela Thalheim, your Phillipsburg Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this, and that's why Angela Thalheim is a proud sponsor of the Northern Valley Huskies and all of their athletics and academics. For all of your investment needs, call 785-543-2667 or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
They're going to kick it deep this time, fielded by Owen Hammond off the catch. Now he's going to have to turn on the afterburners to try and get anywhere. He's wrapped up by 3 Cougars, led by Wright over there, knocking him to the ground after a return of only about 6 or 7 yards on that one from Hammond. Northern Valley will start at the 16-yard line. Yeah, Northern Valley a little bit more comfortable starting position than they had the last time out when it was first with only 2 yards away from their own goal line. Here they might be able to, that kind of changes what you're able to do on offense when you're just trying to survive and stay away from getting that safety. Here we'll be able to see, maybe they'll be able to spread it out a little bit more, get their athletes out in space. Zane Brown and Owen Hammond, a tremendous receiver for Northern Valley, in motion right now. Snap back to Gavin, and the ball's going to be floated up for Owen, and it's going to be pass interference is what I'm going to guess. A flag is on the field. We'll wait for the preliminary signal from the official on the side. Looks like he ran in to Mitchell. He was kind of sandwiched in between Andrew Wright there and Mitchell, and Mitchell runs into him, not able to get up and make a play on that ball. It should be in favor of the Huskies here. Well, still hadn't seen a preliminary signal or a signal. There it is, pass interference on the defense. It's not an automatic first down, but it puts them pretty close here. Well, we got the chain gang very confused. Well, if it's 1st and 15 and it's a 15-yard penalty, it would make sense if it was a first down. Maybe that's what they're thinking here. Now the chain gang will get set as Northern Valley's ready for football. It's going to snap it back to Gavin. Up over the left side. I like that play, though. That's something that we didn't see Northern Valley really run last game out here. But, yeah, I know you don't want to get in front of Gavin Thalheim there. Yeah, but Gavin's got to make that block. Ruiz makes a great play, and Pablo beats Gavin and takes him out. That's 2 against 1, and Pablo won. Kind of just got to get on your horse there. Make sure you get out in front. He hesitated a little bit, thought he was going to get the angle that he wanted, but Pablo found another gear. Pablo Ruiz. But a decent pickup from the Huskies. You talked about him in pregame, Eamon, and what kind of impact he was going to have here tonight, and you have not been wrong so far. Snap back here is to Gavin. Quick pass to Owen Hammond on the outside. He's going to work across the formation. Now he'll be drugged down by a Cougar, but that's a good enough for a Northern Valley first down. They're starting to move the chains.
Tight grip there by Mitchell on Hammond's jersey, and if he didn't grab that, he was about to slip through 2 defenders, and there might have been nobody stopping that from going to Northern Valley pay dirt. But Northern Valley still moving those chains. They haven't looked bad offensively aside from that one drive where they did find themselves pinned way back against our own end zone here. We'll see if they can cash in, though. Still looking for their first points of the contest.
This Twins formation has been successful on this drive. They'll go right back at it.
First 15 for the Huskies. That was a
26-yard line. Hammond in motion now. Now they're going to run, looks like maybe a little option play here. And Tait fumbles that football. It's on the ground, picked up by Pablo Ruiz, and he's going to go in untouched for a Cougar touchdown.
Yeah, now this is another time right there where the Cheylin Cougar defense really nice job shedding off of that lead block here. It's just not doing the trick. They're not able to get out of that backfield in time. And another...
We talked about turnovers.
Another time Northern Valley just shooting themselves in the foot here.
Pablo having a game. He'll line up to see if he can get this PAT through. He's 1 for 2 so far here tonight. Holder is Mitchell. He's got it down. The snap is away. The kick is going to be good. 22-0. Cheylin Cougars over the Northern Valley Huskies. You're watching Open Spaces Sports. Welcome back to football here on a beautiful Friday evening in Bird City. And football's football, Aim. You got to stop them on short round gains. You can't turn the ball over, and you got to put points on the board on a short field. And the Cheylin Cougars have done all of that all night long.
Yeah, they're really capitalizing on these Northern Valley, finding themselves in a hole, and it seems like they just keep digging a little bit deeper and deeper. Northern Valley now in a 22-point hole. We'll see. It all starts with one score. You got to get, they've been able to move this ball decently well on 2 out of their 3 offensive drives, but it hasn't been successful. They had a turnover on downs to start the game. The second time out, they found themselves really pinned back with poor field positioning. But then now, this last time out, they had momentum. It felt like they were able to kind of find something that was working, but cough up that football and leads to a scoop and score for the Cougars.
In desperate search of momentum is the Northern Valley Huskies, looking for a little bit of success here. They're going to give the ball right up the middle to Gavin Thalheim. Around the legs is Pablo Ruiz, and he will take him down for a loss of 2. Penetration by the defensive end, Pablo Ruiz, who we've said his name all night long, making the play once again against the Northern Valley senior running back Gavin Thalheim.
Yeah, just came crashing down there right when he saw the handoff going to Gavin, and it slipped underneath the block and just held on, and it was for a loss of 1.
And we have...
Mr. Wigginton, we need some lights, please.
Oh, we stopped the game for that.
Lights. Stadium lights.
Okay, we stopped the game because we want some stadium lights on there.
Dusk
it's Friday Night Lights. We can't be Friday Night Lights without the lights. So Mr. Wigginton, not the center for the Cheylin Cougars, are responsible here for the lights. And we are still searching for those as the officials will partake of some water out there as we wait. And there's the lights. Here we go. We're ready to go. Nice lights. I mean, if we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Those are some nice LEDs up there.
Absolutely. Shining some light on the situation here.
Makes your picture at home that much brighter. Maybe that changes the fortune for Northern Valley Huskies.
The white helmet for the Huskies here.
Tait under center. It's going to look like a pass coming here as Gavin is smothered, but nobody is around Hansen. He's going to get there. He's one man to beat is Landon Schoenberger, and the race is on. Schoenberger drags him down at the 4-yard line, but a big play there by Northern Valley.
Exactly what Northern Valley needed. They had a lot of pressure coming. You could see got that just over the top of the pressure there. And then Hansen with one man to beat. Schoenberger, though, has some wheels on him, and it's all that saved Northern Valley from getting into the end zone there. But here they find themselves with the best chance they've had all night. to get a score on the board.
First down on the 4-yard line. Northern Valley's got to punch this in. And maybe we'll look back at the light switch being just what Northern Valley needed.
The light switch is the light switch, right?
Here's Tait. Going to give on a reverse here to Hammond. He's going to stumble and go down. The turf monster got him.
Yeah, tough break there as he thought he saw a hole if he could just cut back a little bit, but loses his footing. They find themselves still 2nd and 5.
As that play had success written all over it, they just
had the lead blocker
didn't execute it
too.
Yeah, you can bring it in.
From the 4-yard line for the Huskies.
So Northern Valley trying to punch this football in here with 2:54 and running here in this first quarter. They're going to pass this football over to Owen Hammond, and he's going to go in untouched for a Northern Valley touchdown. That was just a quick hitter from Thalheim to Hammond for the touchdown.
Yeah, the quick strike there is what led to success. So sometimes I feel like, it's good to have patience and let the play develop in front of you, but there was 2 plays right there where they were able to take advantage of getting that quick shot out to their receiver, which led to the touchdown and for the big drive that put them in the position to get that touchdown.
The holder is Hammond. He's got to reach down now. A fire play as Hammond's going to have to flip it back to Gavin. Now Owen's going to have to try and get to the pylon, and he does. They're going to get 1 point out of it. Northern Valley on the board here now, trailing 22-7. And we're still got 2:11 here to go in the first quarter. We'll be here all night long with Open Spaces Sports.
You appreciate it when people listen to you. You like it when they understand. We understand, and we think we have something you're going to like. My name is Brandy Archer. I'm part of the First National Bank and Trust family in Phillipsburg, Logan, Long Island, Smith County Bank and Smith Center, and Solomon Valley Bank in Beloit, member FDIC. You work hard around home, around your family, at your job, and you deserve some perks. Benefits like shopping and travel discounts, protection on your cell phone, roadside assistance. Perks. Today, go to agbank.bank, take a look at the brand new Perk checking account and all the special benefits perfect for someone like you. Reduce risk, save money, get your own Perk checking account. Know that today and every day, First National Bank and Trust is here for you.
As they get back on the scoreboard there, Northern Valley scores on the pass play. Thalheim to Hammond for the 6. Now Gavin going to line up. He can pound this thing deep, or are they going to try and do a little something tricky? No, he's going to line it up and try and shoot it to the goal line. He won't get it there as Ruiz will field it on the 2. Back to the middle of the field he goes. Wrapped up by Tait, though, and dropped him at the 22-yard line. Good return of 20 yards by Andrew Mitchell on the play.
Yeah, nice return and a good tackle in open space there from Mr. Tait Thalheim, because Andrew Mitchell, he's a dangerous returner back there. So we haven't seen this Huskies defense in a little bit.
And now they're going to change it up and go to a 3-man front, but Twins now trips to the far side of the field as they'll snap back here, and Mitchell on the weak side is going to try and get around Gavin, and he does, and now he's going to go along the sideline. He's going to step out of bounds, but not after 10 yards.
Yeah, and that was all that required Mitchell to just get his foot on the gas and get around. They knew that there was going to be a one-on-one opportunity there going around Northern Valley's best defender. Gavin Thalheim finds himself at 7th overall all-time on the tackles list for the Huskies there. But, you're showing a lot of confidence in your back there, just saying, hey, you're going to be left out there one-on-one against this guy. You got to get on your horse, and you got to hit that and get across to the sideline, and he does a good job right there with a gain of 10.
Wigington now going to snap it back and does. Quick strike looking here for Landon Schoenberger. He's going to get it out to Medina, and it's going to be close to a first down. It is going to be a first down, a gain of 7 yards.
Good job knowing where the sticks are right there. Medina knows where he needs to be to pick up that first down before he hits his out route, and a nice job floating it to where he can grab that ball and move the chains for the Cougars.
Sam Reed, head coach Sam Reed there for the Cougars. That's the exact play that Northern Valley just scored on right there. They line up in that formation, quick 5-yard out, and hit him in stride, and it's going to be good for a first down.
Cougars first and 15.
39-yard line. They'll snap it right there. Faked and now a pass to Wigington is going to be just dropped. The center is the main receiver in these deep routes right now.
Yeah, he's slipping behind this Huskies defense there. Schoenberger, if he could have put a little bit more air under that football, Wigington would have found himself probably within 10 yards of another score, if not in that end zone.
Wigington weighs in at 175. I'm going to guess 6'1", 6'2"-ish maybe. I don't know. But from that position, it's tough to mark out. The freshman Wilder was there. But Schoenberger put it on there. Just fortunate for Northern Valley they couldn't connect. This time they're going to go to Mitchell on the strong side. He'll go through Wilder and now going to be taken down by Tait Thalheim. Short of the first down, it's going to bring up third down and short.
I think it's important to note as well, Cheylin doing a really nice job offensively moving this football in chunks. And this is all without one of their best players, Cohen Pokup. We haven't said his name tonight because you see him on the sideline right there, not padded up, out with an ankle injury for at least a little while here. You know he's wanting to be out on that field, and we talked about the impact of not having him out there. He's typically a name that you were saying a lot when you're talking about a Cheylin game.
Yeah, it was beneficial for Northern Valley when they saw him in jeans and boots there on the sidelines. Back to Schoenberger goes. He surveys the field. Now he's going to look to run that football. Hesitates, and now will be flag's going to go on the field, but now he'll run out of bounds for a first down for right now, but it looked like it might have been a block in the back.
Penalty. Yep, as Owen Hammond was doing a really nice job there trying to take that angle. You saw him kind of fall down there awkwardly at the end, and I think a little bit of got behind the back right there. Not really sure who was laying the block, but beneficial for the Huskies.
So that's a 10 yards from spot a foul. We'll repeat the down. It's going to be third and about 5 yards here for the Cougars. They're going to spread it out as right goes to the top of your screen. Medina right here near you on your television screen. Flip back here, Schoenberger looking again. He's going to take it off on the right side. He's going to make his way around, and he will be out of bounds. Did he get to the yard marker or not?
They're going to say yes.
He did.
Got to the 18-yard line there. He tucked that football, and that's where, Cheylin has found the majority of their successes. Schoenberger just using his wheels and finding himself in some scramble situations. Northern Valley's defense not able to contain him. And he's picking up some good chunk yardage.
Northern Valley's defense, they're not letting the top off of it because they're staying plenty deep, but there's 3 receivers deep, which means there's nobody to help on that defense as the pocket collapses and Schoenberger just takes off.
Yeah, and this is what Cheylin Cougars have been doing successfully since they've started playing six-man football. They put their athletes back there in this quarterback position, give them the opportunity to create, either to give that ball to someone else and run the offense through them, or like you see right there with the beautiful assist. Usually when we're talking about Landon Schoenberger and assist, it's on the hardwood, but he can do it on the football field as well.
There's nothing more that Landon Schoenberger likes to do is drop dimes, and here it was. He didn't have the chance to run this time, but he didn't need to. Hit him in stride. 7 more for the Cougars as they get ready to take this extra point. I guess only 6. And this kick is away, and it is no good as it's over the left upright. 28-7, Cheylin leads. We'll be back here in Bird City.
Next time you're in Almena, remember to fill up your tank, grab a treat at Home Oil Company, where service still comes with a smile. Are you searching for the right insurance plan?
1:16 on the clock, first quarter.
Still in this first quarter, Cheylin has put up 28 points in this frame, Aim.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a whole half of football thus far, but we're still looking to get out of the first quarter of this football game. Northern Valley finds themselves down 3 possessions yet again. We'll see if they can respond. Stripes getting some good cardio in there.
Yeah, getting some good cardio in. I mean, we're still in the first quarter. He needs to save a little bit in the tank. We got a long game here to come.
That's right.
Kicking is Ruiz one more time. Here's Pablo's attempt. Going to take something off of it. Going to be a little squibber. It's going to go off of Tait, but he'll land on that football on the 28.5-yard line. That's where Northern Valley will take over.
Yeah, and I expect Northern Valley to kind of look at that twin set, spread them out a little bit more there. They had a lot better success last time out when they kind of went to that package. Starting the game, they did everything a little bit tighter formation, but that D-line of the Cougars was really what forced their hand to go a different direction, but it worked for the Huskies. So we'll see if they go back to that well as Owen Hammond does spread out to the high side there. Zane Brown finds himself down here.
And it's one-on-one out there. You got to figure that the high jumper, Owen Hammond, can out-jump right every time, and now he catches it on the end, and now he'll get all the way up for a 16-yard game on a quick hitter. I like that look.
And there's absolutely no reason that play can't be done time and time and time again. You got to pepper the leading yards receiver in Northern Valley history. Last year, he broke that record, and we'll see if they can utilize him here a little bit more. They do pick up the first down, moving those chains.
1 minute on the clock, first quarter.
As Northern Valley they better get going pretty quick.
They do split out the same way they did last time.
And still a 10-yard cushion over there on Hammond. Tait going to hand this ball off here to Hansen, and he is eaten alive by the Cougar defense. And a loss of 2.
Well, we'll see if Northern Valley gets up and tries to run another play here before the quarter ends.
It's going to be very close on whether they all
have to. I would plan to if I was them.
Well, they don't have to. But right now they could use any momentum they can get. They'll stay in this double formation on the spread. Zane Brown closest to us. Flip back to Tait. He's looking to survey the field. Going to go long for Hammond and had him on the double move, but they couldn't connect.
Loses his footing there, slipped in behind the corner, had him beat dead to rights, but finds himself just floating that one away as Hammond. Maybe grass is getting a little bit slick out there as dusk is set in.
I didn't think about that. It's been some very heavy dews the last couple of mornings. If that dew comes in, and the yard out here looks a little long, right, Mr. Lawn Care?
Yeah, beautiful lawn, though.
It is beautiful, but it could, if it gets slick, it could be interesting because in 6-man football, nobody can miss a tackle, otherwise it ends up in 7 points. And under duress, quickly, and a quarterback sack with a big man. Daniel Ramirez was all over Tait Thalheim before he even hardly got the football.
I'll tell you what, Ramirez there looked like he was shot out of a cannon, bend his ears back. Look at this. Just comes right over that. Nothing was going to stop him, and a great response there from the Cougars to end the first quarter of action. 28-7 is our score. We'll kick it to the sponsors and be right back for quarter 2.
Don't know where to start? At Insurance Central in Norton, they've been insuring for quite some time, and Jody Ward is there to help you every step of the way. Whether it's Medicare, health insurance, life insurance, disability and critical insurance, long and short-term care, annuities, doesn't matter. Serving Nebraska and Kansas, Jody offers local hometown service, and the best part, she's there to take care of you when you need her. Call Jody Ward today at 785-202-5008 or visit myinsuranceCentral.com and get started. Insurance Central, protecting what matters most.
Mittens Travel Center is much more than a convenience store. At Mittens Travel, you can count on them for a quick snack or a quick drink, or maybe get a sandwich from the Subway inside. Maybe you need to take a break from your travels and sit down for a meal at the IHOP restaurant. You can also stop in at the Sonic drive-thru next door. Mittens Travel Center also features high-quality fuel to keep your car or truck on the road. You don't have to come to Mittens to get their high-quality fuel. You can let them bring it to you. Whether it's on the job or on the farm, Mittens Travel Center can deliver gas, diesel, DEF, wherever you are. The next time you're traveling down Interstate 70, make it a one-stop shop at Mittens Travel Center in Oakley, Kansas.
Clint, we talked about how beautiful this evening was out here. Started out with an 82-degree, just perfect night. But I don't know if you could see that sky at home as well as we can here. I'm sure it doesn't do it justice, but just the perfect setting for a Friday night football game. Some laundry on the field here. It's going to go against the Huskies. A false start is going to back them up 5 more. It's 4th and forever to go here.
The end on the outside was Hammond, and the defensive line moved a little bit and shifted into position, and they said that apparently that wasn't enough to to cause the movement, and Hammond goes off. Watch the football, boys. 4th and 4 ever. 32. Ball is up for Zane Brown, and it's going to go out of the play as Wright will knock it away.
That'll lead to a turnover on downs, but I don't mind Northern Valley going for it. Yeah, it was 4th down, so it's going to be Cheylin's ball, but they find themselves in a deficit. It was a good look right there.
28-yard line. You don't want to miss halftime tonight. Halftime show tonight will be some Cougar Academic Awards.
They're going to start with the trip formation. Last time they were in this trip formation, they went weak side here and had success with it. Mitchell is going to be lined up over the center. Snap goes to him, back to Hendricks. He's going to fly it to the weak side, and Tait Thalheim was there. It got broken up by Wright, but Tait broke on that football, about had a pick.
Yeah, good positioning there from Tait. Had a good read on that one. The only thing that stopped that from being a score for the Huskies was Wright taking a little bit of a hit right there from Tait and finding himself with another opportunity at a 2nd and 15 here. They live to fight another day.
Yeah, Wright turned from receiver to defensive back
very quickly. It's probably good he plays both sides of the ball, huh?
2nd and 15 for Cheylin.
This time they'll get it back to Hendricks. Floats to the left side of the formation. Hansen's all in his face. The ball is up in the air and free for anybody.
Another one lollipopped up there. Looks like they're kind of playing jackpot right now, but no one's coming away with it. Northern Valley, what I like here, though, is you see how Hansen pin his ears back and get a little bit more pressure. They've been trying to play the containment game with Schoenberger back there. But what it's ended up doing is it's just given him enough real estate and enough time where he's able to make a patient read and kind of expose this Northern Valley defense as they get stretched out by these defenders, where now they're adding a little bit more pressure. They're not allowing this quarterback for the Cheylin Cougars to get comfortable back there, and it's working a little bit better this drive.
Well, right here, it's 3rd and 15. This is where you might see a little gadget play or something from Coach Reed, I think, on this one. As his team gets lined up in a new formation, across the formation, they'll go Medina, fake the jet, and a deep and wide open is Mitchell. Nobody around, nobody wearing a green and white. Touchdown, Cougars.
Not so much a gadget play, just broken coverage right there. They lose Medina as
Medina came in motion, and nobody marked Mitchell. He just ran right through the defense, and nobody was around.
Yep, just ran a wheel route out there and worked to perfection for Coach Reed and the Cougars.
Perfectly schemed, perfectly executed, as the motion drew across the eyeballs and nobody stayed with the slot receiver for the easy score. And here we go.
Yeah, you see that in all levels of the game where pre-snap movement, pre-snap motion has become so essential to kind of creating looks, exposing defenses, and it works really well right there for the Cougars, even all the way down in the 6-man game. You know, we see Andy Reid do it all the time, don't we?
Yeah, that time looked like a whistle of Northern Valley was in through the neutral zone. It was an extra 5 or half the distance. The kick is away. The kick is good, barely scraping the uprights, but it doesn't matter. They'll add 2 more. 34-36. 7, Cheylin over Northern Valley.
Kind of gone with a couple of different kickers here. Ruiz lined up again. Every time he's been back there, it's been more of one of those onside looks. So we'll see if that trend remains true here. We'll see if the hands team for the Huskies is ready for this one.
As the Cheylin Cougars are lined up right on the 30-yard line. You don't see that very often either. As this one's going to be wedged down. And it's going to work its way to the sideline where Hammond will pick it up. He's counted dance. He's got to put a foot in the ground and go, and he finally does. Runs over Mitchell, drags him to the 25-yard line. That's where Northern Valley will start this very important series of downs. You know, they can dig out of this, but they got to start digging right now.
They do. Yeah, it's been a game that has been on the cusp of kind of getting out of hand and out of control for the Huskies, but they've been able to respond a couple of times. There's still 9:28 here in the second quarter. We've got a lot of football left to play regardless of how this goes. So they got to continue to just chip away on offense here. They've really found some success. They just haven't been able, except for the one time, to cash in on it. But if you go back and look at their offensive drives, there's been a lot of plus side on a lot of these things. Thalheim will air this one up, and that's going to get picked out of the air by Schoenberger. He's still on the move down the sideline, and that
touchdown, Landon Schoenberger. As a pick six was there. Where?
We talked about how Northern Valley needed something here.
Right there, that's a huge hit. I think that was Mitchell who delivered the thunder, freeing Schoenberger as he tight-roped the sideline to take it back on the return. He returned that one 45 yards to pay dirt. Ruiz for the point after is down. The point after is up. The point after is good. Just like that. Now there's only 5 seconds off the clock, and they've got 44-7 Cheylin in the lead.
If you haven't gotten the opportunity to stop.
We talked about it. We talked about it a little bit before the game with Coach Reed down there, and I know we've said it before where he's like, we need this one. This could be the game that completely shifts the momentum for our season, and they have bought into that message this week, haven't they? They do not look like an 0-3 team over here in Cheylin right now.
16 minutes off the clock, and they've put up 44
They're a team
points.
on a mission trying to make a statement right now. And Northern Valley with the chance to respond, and we keep talking about it each time out, but that hole just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. But you got to find your way to start climbing out of it at some point. And it really, really has to start right here.
They'll kick it deep here to Hammond, and he's going to move it forward.
Hammond's got the ball from about the 10-yard line.
Met him at the 20, and that's all the farther he's going to go. Tackled by Ruiz and Medina.
From the 20-yard line for the Huskies.
If head coach Marvin Giffart's got one underneath his sleeve, it might be time to execute it and pull it off here. If he's seen something on tape here from Cheylin to get some points and to just get some mental stuff happening good for the Northern Valley Huskies.
Yeah, well, this Cheylin Cougars team has all the momentum right now, kind of smelling blood in the water a little bit. It might be a good time to go back to one of those screen plays where everyone's overcommitting, wanting to get on a piece of the action. It's kind of, they want it to pour when it starts raining like this, and it could be a good chance to take advantage of that. And it's not going to happen with that play as Northern Valley finds themselves stuffed in the backfield here for a loss of 2 or 3. They just keep going back. Maybe it was 4 or 5.
It was a 5-yard gain, and it was 3 guys who met Gavin 5 yards deep in the backfield to send him back down to the ground, as the penetration by the defensive line was impressive.
And that's exactly what we're talking about, trying to expose with a play call potentially is they're feeling it right now, and they just want to get after the quarterback and get after the ball handler.
Hammond. Now Tait is going to have to just throw it out of bounds on an incomplete pass. He was getting rid of that football as he was feeling footsteps coming in from his backside. Hammond was open off the snap. They didn't feed it to him right away because Wright is playing 12, 15 yards off of him and taking those first steps back every time. And I don't blame him with a big lead like this. You don't want to give up you want them to, Northern Valley to earn it, but you can't give that kind of space to Hammond here on the outside, I wouldn't think.
Nope, and you got to go for more of a quick hitter. This ball is up. Brown comes down with it. Was he in bounds, though?
Oh, he dropped it.
So that's going to be incomplete. That would have been a nice pickup for the Huskies. Now 4th and 20. The punting game has been a struggle here in this one as that defensive line you see is making an impact. They've been able to get to Gavin as he kicks these ones off. So we'll see what they do right here. As last time they had this chance, they decided to run a play instead because of that. They feel like maybe if they can pick up a little bit of yardage, it's better than getting it blocked. But I don't know, Clint. I think you kind of got to punt this one away.
I think you do. The way Gavin kicks, I wouldn't mind him kicking this one. Because a field kick is a field kick, whether it's a punt or if he lineups for a, what would this be, a 65-yard field goal.
Here he does knock one away. We'll see where it goes out, and it's going to be about the 32-yard line, so he does flip the field here. They're going to say the 40?
Well, We're going to find out.
Tough spot for the Huskies there.
Apparently the 40-yard line on that spot, that's where they'll change the possession. Hey, it gives something for everybody to talk about at halftime, right? And the Cheylin Cougars are going to keep the momentum rolling. They're going to go one. No, they're going to go twins here to the near side. Ruiz going to go in motion. Flip backwards to Mitchell. He's going to get downhill and go quick. Wrapped up and dropped after a 2-yard gain. Thalheim got it. Northern Valley just kind of left scratching their head at the moment.
Yeah, right now they're trying to – Cheylin is kind of taking over all 3 phases of the game, offensively, defensively, and special teams, able to get that pressure on those punts, not able to get the leg behind a lot of those kicks to flip the field. Like we've seen Gavin be able to do here, Thalheim will put pressure. It floats up to Ruiz. He comes down with it after a nice gain there. It's going to be a 17-yard catch as he just went and high-pointed that ball.
Normally I'm saying what kind of touch Landon usually puts on this one. This one he puts in harm's way. He just kind of floats it into the middle of the field there around a whole bunch of Northern Valley Huskies. But the athlete of Ruiz just high points that football and goes and gets it and saves his quarterback. Spread them out. Wigginton's getting ready to snap it back here to Schoenberger. As he does, they're going to hand off to Ruiz around the left side. Runs over Hammond, and he'll gain 4 yards on the carry. That's a strong downhill run by Pablo.
Find themselves at 2nd and 14 here, knocking on the door yet again.
Gain of 7 on the play, 2nd down and 8.
Looking for more. They'll hand it to Ruiz around the left side. Hammond's there to drive him out of bounds. And that one was maybe a loss on the down, a loss on the play of a yard. We'll bring up 3rd down, right around 9 or 10 yards. If I look at the sticks on the far side, Northern Valley's got to stiffen up here and get a stop.
If they're able to get a hold here, I know that it feels like, you know, looking at that scoreboard, Cheylin's been lighting it up, but it would be such a lift to your momentum and your countenance right now if you're the Husky defense and you can kind of stonewall up here and keep Cheylin from lighting up the board even more than they have.
Schoenberger going to take off on the run, going to wiggle around, and he will be short of the sticks. Oh, maybe not.
We've seen him do that a lot, though, haven't we? Or he's able to kind of look off the defender and pick up 10, 15, even 20 yards with those wheels, and it's going to be 4th and 1. They bring in Dawson Giebler, the big man, the 230-pound senior. This one might just be a who's going to have leverage.
Yeah, I'm guessing
low man wins, right?
Line up in I formation and go for it. Can't do quarterback sneak or a tush push, but no, this is 6-man football. Molina to the high side, Wigginton to the near side, and they'll snap it back here to Mitchell. Turn and flip back to Schoenberger. He's going to dance to the left, dance to the right. Now the ball's up in the air. What a pass! What a dime to Mitchell.
Yeah,
I love that one.
Really floated that one up, but Mitchell doing a nice job getting in good position to catch this ball. Schoenberger off the back foot going over the Husky defender.
I love it because he waits for space, and you know what? He threw his receiver open, Mitchell. He threw it right over the top of Hammond. Hammond couldn't do nothing for it. Mitchell just tracked it down and picked up the easiest score. Nope. That's the right button.
Cougars continue to put on an absolute clinic here on how to score touchdowns, 50-7, and they line up for
yet another extra point.
Try. This one is going to be good. A line drive through the uprights, 52-7 with 6:01 left in the second quarter. We'll be back right after these messages.
Pipestone Cares program. Pipestone partners with farm owners to give back, strengthening their local communities together. They're honored to work with More Power, Four Corners, and Country South Farms, all serving the Norton area. And they're especially proud to support the Northern Valley schools, both in the classroom and on the playing field. Pipestone, helping farmers today create farms for tomorrow.
To kick is a new guy in there. There's Ramirez is going to do the kicking this time as he'll punch it deep, and Hammond will scoop it at the 10-yard line and try and hit the accelerator and go. Mitchell is the only person that stops that one from going all the way as he stracked him down at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, and I love that he found a new gear right there. I think with all that space, you gotta just use all the area in front of you like that. I know that
Owen has another gear that we haven't seen.
And I would love to see it from him.
We have not been able to get big horses, Gavin and Owen, out there and out in space and get the motor running. I wouldn't be surprised if we feed here Owen the football here, going on a one-on-one matchup here.
He could use that speed and just burn him.
Inside out. Now Gavin's going to break one. Now look to have him picked up there. Nice block there by Tait. And a gain of 7, 8, 9 yards, but we have a flag down? No, that's not a flag. That is a towel. Picked up by the official, looking like he's going to hand it to Gavin. It'll be 2nd down and 7 here for Northern Valley.
8-yard gain on the play, 2nd down and 7.
I like the look there, though, and they're kind of setting up that play for Owen as he kind of worked like he was going to go across the middle and then brought it right back. Northern Valley, though, could go back to that well and I think find something out there. They do rip this one up to Ham, and he's got to fight back for that football. Great job by Andrew Wright getting fingertips on that one and knocking it away. Northern Valley needs to show a little bit more urgency here. It does feel like 5:03 feels like forever, but they got a long way to go if they even want to play a second half of this game right now, because they cannot afford to give up any more empty opportunities.
3rd down and 7. Northern Valley needs to convert here. Malachi hit over center, getting ready to snap it back to Tait. He does. Flip back to Gavin, and he's off to the left side, going to try and run this ball around Mitchell. Gets around one, and now runs over Schoenberger, runs over Pablo. It's going to be a 1st down, Northern Valley, as they will move the chains on that toss sweep to Gavin.
Good time for Gavin to get his best run of the evening here. Just found it up the sideline there, and he's like a locomotive when he gets going, isn't he? You do not want to step in front of that train.
1st and 15 on the 21-yard line here for Northern Valley. 52-7, Cheylin in the lead. As the beautiful sunset is darkened, and we are in fully under the lights here in Bird City. Swing pass to Gavin on the outside, and a block on the outside takes out 2. And now a flag. Hammond blocked one into another, and they call a flag. And the flag is going to be holding, or was it illegal block?
Well, it doesn't matter what the call was. It wasn't that.
And it'll back up Northern Valley. It'll be 1st and 20. Nope. 1st and 22.
Must be 1st and 20 from the 29-yard line.
Flip back to Gavin. He's got to make a play here. He's going to float it up to his buddy Owen. He's going to try and high point that football, and it goes over the top of his head. Incomplete on the pass.
Andrew Wright right in his pocket there, not giving Owen any room to work. He played it clean, but just made life uncomfortable for Owen there, not able to go up and make a good play on that football. It slips through his hands. Now we're looking at a 2nd and very long.
2nd and 23. As Northern Valley will stay in the spread formation. Gavin looking over the left side, trying to get around one defender, does. Trying to get around two defender, does. Now he'll float it forward to Hansen, and it's going to be short and incomplete as Gavin is running for his life out there. Tracked down by Delano. He couldn't wrap him up, but the quarterback pressure forces the incomplete pass, and it's going to be 3rd down and forever here one more time.
Huskies have had some pretty decent looks at it. Absolutely 2-down territory here.
Coming up on October 10th is the homecoming.
No, that was not the right button. We want one of these.
Well,
right?
Northern Valley's just sitting there walking around, so I thought you did it on purpose because they're just walking. You know, like they've already absolutely lost this game. Tait showing off some good wheels here. Good job by Hansen there, holding on to that block on the edge, and a great pickup there. And like I said, this is 2-down territory, and now they find themselves a 4th and short. Northern Valley needs to light a fire, though.
Just and that's kind of where I'm seeing the field presence, the body language. And I understand it's 52-7, but if you don't get some points on the board, this game's going to be over at the half.
Just under 4 minutes till halftime.
Northern Valley needs to score here on this 4th down, or at minimum get a 1st down. And head coach Marvin Gephart's going to call for a timeout. A big play here for Northern Valley. They need to move these chains here. 4th down and 4. On the outside, they're going to go to Tait, flip it over, trying to go to Owen, and it's going to fall incomplete, and that one will flip over.
No time to hang your head about it, though. You got to turn around and get a stop here and before Cheylin can flip this field. They've done a really nice job moving these chains, though. 52-7. Huskies have no time to waste. They got to get this ball back and punch it in.
The 45-point rule is in effect after the first half is completed.
Abby Wright, and I'm not saying who else is out there. Somebody got embarrassed last time, I think. So.
Cougars defense, nice job there.
Standing up.
Standing strong and getting the ball back.
Cougars 1st and 15 from the 10-yard line.
Northern Valley with a 4-man front on defense. They get the ball out to Mitchell. He shows off the wheels. He'll get knocked out about the 17-yard line after a decent pickup from the Cougars.
Tait Thalheim and Owen Hammond for the Huskies.
Cut the sticks in half. They'll give 2nd down and 7 to go.
2nd down and 7 for Cheylin.
The offense has been efficient here for Cheylin here tonight. They started off a little rocky, kept putting the football on the ground, but since then, all mistakes have been cleaned up, and they've been efficient, just moving this football up and down this field, scoring points at will.
2nd down.
Schoenberger will run it again, has pressure, flips it up. It's off the hands of Ruiz. It was a really nice job, though, by him. He was almost in front of the line of scrimmage there.
The RPO there from Schoenberger as he attacked the line of scrimmage. He could have taken off and picked up some yards, but he found Ruiz. It was just out of his reach. Of course, that rule is that it doesn't matter if your toenail is behind the line of scrimmage and everything else is in front of it, it's still a legal forward pass. It's one of the most difficult also to officiate.
Yeah, that guy is. Poor line judge.
It's well, the line judge has to flow down with the receivers. It's kind of the white hat's responsibility, the umpire's responsibility to kind of pay attention to that. This one, they'll kick back here, and Schoenberger's going to take off again. Around the left side, he'll go. Hesitates. He'll get 1st down yardage, and he'll get a new set of downs here for his Cougar teammate.
That's enough for Cheylin Cougar.
As they continue to march.
And they got the big boys in there across that front line right now. Ramirez weighing in at 225. Gibbler in there at 230. Just bulldozing their way, let alone Wigington in there as well. They're going to flank him down to the far side. The big man is out there on the wideout position on the far end. Let's see if they try and find him the football here. Hesitates. He's going to try and go long. Schoenberger left, right, and now will dance around to the left side. Hesitates. Fumble. Football's on the ground.
And another fortunate recovery there from the Cougars. We just talked about it, how outside of that first possession where they almost cuffed the ball up 4 times, here they do get it back yet again. Schoenberger, it was a nice stick by a Husky defender kind of on him right there in the open field that led to that fumble, but a nice job by the Cougars with the heads-up play, falling on that one, keeping their drive alive.
Tait with that hit there to jar that football loose.
First down and 15, Cheylin.
But it's still a first down here for the Cougars. So snap it to Schoenberger one more time. Landon's got the ball on the ground one more time. And sitting on it like an egg is Mitchell. But they'll keep possession.
You made that look good.
They'll live to play another down, but we're talking about the efficiency, and now the last couple plays, Cheylin getting a little loose with that football.
Cheylin students that are receiving their academic awards, would you make your way down to the south side of the concession stand?
Some academic awards have been announced here at halftime. We'll bring them to you here at Open Spaces Sports. We like the sports side, we like the academic side here. We'll showcase kids here in Western Kansas without a doubt here at halftime. We look forward to that in under 2 minutes. Ruiz around the right side, going to try and get the corner. He'll get there, and Mitch much more as he'll pick up 12 yards. No, they're going to say 15, 16 yards and a first down.
Good job by him turning on the burners there when he hit the sideline and just getting up and moving those chains.
Cougars have entered the Central Plains Equipment red zone. We want to thank Central Plains Equipment for their support of
the 20-yard line is where that football rests.
Cougars get into the red zone.
With 1:52 to go here in this contest, they put more points up. Just makes it harder to say that we're going to be back here with third quarter action, right, Em?
Yeah.
I like the big man outside. They got to feed him the football.
I know.
First and 15, Cheylin.
Ramirez working his way on a touch and go. It's going to work. He's got his hand up. He's wide open, too. But Schoenberger eludes Zane Brown, and now the race is on. Linden scoring 6 more. The shake and bake by Landon Schoenberger, and he had Ramirez in the back of the end zone at the top of your screen with his hand open.
Zane Brown had him kind of dead in the water there when the hand went up, but Schoenberger making a man miss there, giving a little good shimmy, and finding himself scoring yet again for the Cheylin Cougars. They cannot be denied here this evening.
Let the good times roll. As it couldn't have been a sweeter night, and they had to have this one. They wanted this one. That's what the Cheylin Cougars' first-year head coach Sam Reed had to tell us before the game, and it looks like he's going to secure his first ever victory here tonight, and it's going to come in blowout fashion over the Northern Valley Huskies, unless some sort of miracle happens here.
Yeah, it's going to have to be some sort of miracle. That's for sure. Northern Valley, we'll see if they can respond quickly on this return. Cheylin had a new kicker in there. Ramirez tried one out for the PAT try. I don't know if a Northern Valley defender got his hand on it or if it was just not quite got the footing that he wanted, but it was no good. Still 58-7, Cheylin. And they have the same fight song, both these schools do, so both cheerleaders know exactly what to do, both cheerlead squads. Little Go Northwestern, right?
Go Northwestern, go. You and I were both in the band. We know how to play it by heart.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody hand me a saxophone.
Which one of us is going to be the tenor? Which one's the alto?
Oh, are you a saxophone player as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Apparently, saxophone players like to run their mouth. There might be some
we've had a kazoo
science behind that. Yeah,
we've had a kazoo here on Open Spaces Sports, but we've
got a
never
lot of
had
air
a
in our
saxophone.
lungs, right?
Maybe we can get a band instructor to hand us an alto.
Yeah, we could get Jazzy up here.
And see if we can make some noise. Ramirez looks to be doing the kicking here. Here is Daniel. The left-hand footer.
Nice
it's
kick.
kind of a dirty kick. Will be picked up by the 26-yard line by Hammond. Working his way left, working his way right, and now he's going to take off down the sideline. Making his way now back across the formation. Finally wrapped up and drugged down there by Delano. Tevin, the sophomore, tracks him down before he was going to be gone.
Yeah, easily the best return of the night for the Huskies there, and the best field position that they've started with. Haven't had this good of look coming out on the offensive side since the start of this football game.
Malachi under center, just off to his right side. No, they're going to put Hansen in at center.
1:24 left. Northern Valley going to need a quick hitter kind of play here. They do get it outside. A little bit of a screen action there to Owen Hammond on that far side. He'll fight forward for 5 or 6 yards. Goes out of bounds, stopping the clock with 1:21 left. Northern Valley, if they want to play a second half, is going to have to score and then get this ball right back and score again.
Score again.
As they find themselves down 51 right now. Split out far this way.
Maverick
Rogers.
Yeah.
We've seen him make some timely catches in his career here. He'll float it up to Thalheim. Tait gets dragged forward. He's going to go down at the 1.
As Hammond was in there flipping that ball around at quarterback, they're trying to figure out something that'll work.
Hey, I like the look of having Tait kind of running across there as like almost a slot receiver, because he's got some quickness to him and can make a man miss there out in the open flat.
They'll stay. Maverick lines up in the wideout position below us. The bottom of your screen. Snapping this ball will be Hansen. Thalheim, followed with the I dot of Owen Hammond. They'll flip it back to him and give him some options. Going to the left, going to the right, nobody home. Touchdown, Owen Hammond.
Just a little bit of a counter action there. Everyone goes left, and he reads that well, puts his foot in the ground, and goes back right. As both of his lead blockers head left. But like we said, Northern Valley, we'll see what they can get on this try here, but if they want to extend this game, they're going to have to get this ball back with an onside kick.
Gavin Thalheim's kick is good, 58-15. We'll be back with more here at Open Spaces. Coming back at you here, Clint Cox and Aim Baird for Open Spaces Sports.
And the kick that was good did make this a 43-point deficit, so.
I thought your math was, they didn't need to score again.
It was mathing until Gavin hit one through the uprights.
Here it is again. Gavin going to try and knock one deep, I'm assuming. He does. He puts a leg into it, and that one's going to be 5 yards deep into the end zone. And in high school football, Keisha says you cannot bring it out of the end zone, so it's a touchback. First down and the first 15-yard line here for the Cougars.
I just had Cindy Mordecai text and asked, do we want those saxophones up in the crow's necks next time, or do we want to go down and join the band? So
Cindy Mordecai, she is definitely on board full.
So I hope you were serious.
Well, I don't know if Rich Hepp and the boys over there at Open Spaces Sports would give us a little time to
play some smooth jazz,
yes,
or some hot cross buns.
We'll see what Cindy comes up with. Probably my saxophone's still under the stage there at Northern Valley. Cobwebs and all.
Schoenberger.
That's an illegal forward pass.
It was well past the line of scrimmage. Nobody's there.
And nobody's
going to score on an illegal play. It was about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage.
He stopped and looked, and touchdown, Cougars. Well, I'm sorry I didn't go with it because I thought it was coming backwards. And now we've got a flag on the field, but I don't know what it is.
I think they're saying sideline warning. Is that call?
Yes. It's not a warning, it's a penalty.
Well, I would run out there too if someone was completing passes 2-3 yards past the line of scrimmage for the nail in the coffin.
Well, they got 25 seconds to go. This kick after is no good. So they got 25 seconds to continue this one into the second half.
Oh boy.
We'll be right back with more here at Open Spaces. Owen almost broke the last kickoff. He's going to need to do it here again if Northern Valley's going to stay alive and play into the second half, as Ruiz will kick it off here on a quick squibber to Zane Brown. He's going to dodge the first, dodge the second, third, and now he's going to try and put on the afterburners, but only a 2-yard return. Northern Valley will have 19 seconds to go to put up some points.
15 for the Huskies. Again, at halftime tonight, make sure you stick around for the Cougar Academic Awards. Also, sometimes you're an announcer, you got to wonder. On Friday, October 10th,
on the far side, Zane Brown will line up. Near side, Maverick Rogers. Hansen getting ready to snap this football back here to his sophomore teammate, Tait Thalheim. Now back to Owen it goes. He's going to work his way around the left side. Blocked by Gavin. Now he's got a lead blocker in Tait trying to get to the end zone. He doesn't have much of a choice. He's going to hesitate, and he'll get out of bounds, stopping the clock with 5.5 remaining.
At the 20-yard line.
And a timeout here by head coach Northern Valley's Marvin Gippard. He wants to talk about it to try and put some points up on the board.
Well, call 785-543-2667.
Here we go. Northern Valley with 5.5 to go on the clock. They need to put points on the board right here on this play. Snap back to Gavin. He's going to hesitate. He's got some time. And a bad pass is going to fall incomplete, and that's going to be the ball game.
The story of the game there, though.
As Northern Valley gets housed 64-15 by the Cheylin Cougars. Congratulations, Sam Reed, on his first coaching victory of his career.
Definitely one to remember.
And Northern Valley has yet to be able to figure out how to win in Bird City.
It's their kryptonite, isn't it?
They can't even get to make a competitive game most of the time. Bird City at Cheylin, they just blow them out every time they show up here. Congratulations to the Cougars. Maybe this turns your season around here a little bit, and it leaves Northern Valley still scratching their head, trying to look for something.
If you're going to score like that, your season's going to turn around in a hurry.
Putting up a lot of points in a hurry was the Cougars. 64 points over 24 minutes of play.
Got to appreciate, though, they put both their feelings aside from each other that they have on the field, on the court. You know, both these teams, you know, they want to come out. They want to beat each other. And here you see down there
prayer,
joining together and praying at the end of the game. It means so much more than just this game. It's so much more than the 2-4 quarters that we get to play when we come out here.
You know, we get a lot of questions about these small schools, right? Why do you guys stay open? You don't even hardly have anybody there. You're playing six-man football. But you know what? These kids love it. And these kids know they are grown up with a lot more responsibilities and a lot more things that are put on them to keep their schools going, whether it be on the football field or on the academic side. I'm sure that a lot of them are involved in FFA and student council and probably some of the band and the choir, everything to make it happen here for their schools, not only in Northern Valley. I know that's for a fact, but here at Cheylin as well. We got to keep that momentum going.
And right here, see that right here is education also important as they come out for the academic awards here.
We're going to zoom in and try and get the house
kids at halftime
so we can get their names.
In language arts for grades 3 through 8 and 10th grade in the area and in the area of science for 5th grade. We'd like to extend our appreciation to Bird City Century 2 for their generous gift in purchasing t-shirts for these students. At this time, we would like to recognize students who received a level 3 or 4, the highest levels, on our state assessments last spring. Mr. Wigington will hand out t-shirts to the students as I announce their names. Unfortunately, not everyone could be here tonight. We ask to please hold your applause until the very end because I'm going to brag a little bit. Our list is kind of long. Starting us off tonight is Trinidad Bobadilla for Language Arts. Rosie Churchwell, Language Arts. Isaiah Howard, Language Arts and Math.
Enjoy listening to you guys work.
Brenna Jekes, Language Arts and Math. Sawyer Baker, Language Arts. Zaid Abdurazak, Math. Lane Anholtz, Science. Jake Johoy, Language Arts, Math and Science. Toby Carson, Language Arts and Math. Travis Kuhn, Language Arts, Math and Science. Cora Hendricks, Language Arts and Math. Riley Howard, Language Arts, Math and Science. And Xavier Lennox, Language Arts, Math and Science.
What they're talking about here, if you didn't catch what it was, is their state assessments.
Language Arts and Math.
Those students who excelled in individual subjects honored here tonight in front of the hometown crowd.
Parker Bursch, Language Arts and Math. Adley Pocup, Language Arts and Math. Brian Santos, Language Arts and Math. Landon White, Math. Camilla Baca, Language Arts. Mary Baker.
A lot of times we just see them on the athletic field, but all these students excel in the classroom as well.
Bursch, Language Arts and Math. Landon Hendricks, Language Arts and Math. Hayden Hetzner, Language Arts and Math. Connie Kramer, Math. Taylor McCarty, Language Arts and Math. Lily Sabaka, Language Arts and Math. Ashlyn Shields, Language Arts and Math. Abigail Wright, Language Arts and Math. Aniston Whittington, Language Arts and Math. Andrew Wright, Language Arts and Math. Amy Yanez, Language Arts and Math. Let's give these kids a round of applause.
Look at all those students there who excelled in the classroom on the state assessments.
We have another special award. Hey, and I want to get a group picture when we're done, so we'll have to get together. But at this time, we would also like to announce a very special honor that less than 1% of the students in the state of Kansas receive. We not only had one, but two students score a perfect score on the state assessment in math.
Oh, wow.
As your name is announced, please step forward to receive your medal from Mr. Wade.
1% of the students across the state of Kansas received a perfect on their state assessments.
Congratulations, boys, and all of the Cougars.
Chuck Featherton would be very proud. In math, yeah, even more impressive. We should have had them up there doing the number counter for us on the race to the 45-point rule, because we were all over the place on that thing.
Congratulations, students, young and old, all the way up to juniors, all the way down to some littles down there. I don't know if they start them in the first grade or second grade. I didn't catch that portion of it. But congratulations. As AIM, we can probably pull the shade on this one and close the curtains, as Northern Valley showed up with high hopes here in Bird City to try and get their season going in some positive momentum, and Cheylin just came in and punched him in the mouth.
They really did. That's the best way to put it. They won all three phases of the game, like we talked about offensively. You don't put up 64 points unless you win the offensive battle. Defensively, holding Northern Valley to just 15, and then special teams taking its toll as well, where there's been times where Northern Valley wasn't able to flip the field, found themselves with opportunities to maybe get a little bit momentum back, but they just completely dominated this thing from the beginning of the game.
So when it comes to the open spaces sports schedule, we're going to add a few more. If you're still in here and still listening, we're adding a few more games here as we've had some demand for it. And so when new sponsors show up, we can bring you a few more games. We're going to bring the Juanita Palisade Triangular on Tuesday for the volleyball team, and then we'll be back in for the Golden Plains football game. They're in the Valley, and then we'll have Weskin in Weskin for the football side of things. And I think we're going to pick up the Logan and Plainville Triangular in volleyball as well. Pay attention. We'll send it out in the school textcaster whether we are or are not going to be available to bring you some more open space in sports. But reminder, we can't do it without those sponsors. Like I said, we got some new sponsors to come alongside of us to make a few more broadcasts possible. Make sure you say thank you to them so that they can help us bring these games to you wherever you might be, whether it be just at home, not wanting to make a 2-hour drive, or all the way across the country. We've got people that will tune in from some amazing distances sometimes, and we can look them out on our computer where they come from, the little IP addresses, and it's surprising. We get some overseas action as well.
Internationally known, huh?
I think they're after some saxophones in the near future.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. For Aim Baird, I'm Clint Cox, and the rest of us here at Open Spaces Sports, we say until next time, God bless.